Hello everyone, this is Mumbo here, welcome back, and today we're back on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 7, and we're currently over here in the Mumbo Jumbaloon base, ready to start recording another video. Now, before we even begin, I have got a few things I want to chat to you about. There are a few things that are on my mind that I've been mentioning down in the comments section. People have been talking to me about them, and I thought I should address them. So, first things first, I just want to say a massive, humongous thank you for 450,000 subscribers, because we recently hit that, but also the fact that we got over 10,000 likes on the previous Hermitcraft episode. In fact, I do believe that it is currently sitting at 20,000 likes, which is absolutely incredible. That is insane, and I just want to say a massive thank you for all of that. But now on to the thing that I really want to talk to you about, and that is some of the comments that I've been receiving recently about the fact that hermits have been mentioning some of the builds that I've been doing in their videos. Now, as you know, my recording schedule is a little bit tough. Because I'm a full-time student, as well as being a somewhat full-time YouTuber, I really have to balance my time effectively, and that means that I record these episodes of Hermitcraft over a couple of days, okay? So this episode is going to be coming out on Thursday. I am now recording this on Monday, but I will finish recording the episode on Wednesday. So I'm going to split up this recording over a bunch of days, so I can split it up, because here's the thing, I spend about 5, maybe even 6 hours on each one of these episodes, and due to the way that my schedules are, and my college timetable and things, there is no way I will be able to spend 6 hours in one big block in one day. I just wouldn't be able to do it. So sadly, I have to split it up, record over multiple days, and that is why occasionally you see in some other Hermits videos spoilers before my video actually comes out, which is a bit of a shame, but that is sort of how it goes. But I thought I'd just pop over here anyway, right at the start of this video. I apologise that was a bit of a long talk, but I thought I'd pop over here and check how the farms are doing. I haven't looked at this for the past 4 days, so here we go, let's take a look, and whoa! There are loads of stuff. That's a lot of melons. We've only got 7 melon plants in here, and it is going ham. Wow, okay, well, we have got tons of items straight away. I'm going to need a bigger chest. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was expecting sort of 2 or 3 stacks. That's crazy. Look how small these farms are as well. Well, I never. These are super simple farms that have produced a huge amount of produce. Wow. Oh, can you tell? Can you tell in my voice? I'm completely taken aback by this. I was not expecting that in the slightest. So I just planted in all of the melon seeds. They are now all the way up to the top of the tower. Not that we particularly needed it that much, considering the fact that we've almost filled the entire chest using only 4 melon plants. Can you believe it? Look, only these ones have fully grown. If we go up to the next level, you can see that these ones here haven't actually grown. So what I thought I'd do is a little bit of bone mealing. We seem to have a ton of bones on the server right now, which suggests that someone out there has got themselves a bone meal farm or a skeleton farm, an XP grinder type thing. But anyway, I'm going to do all of the bone mealing here. We will get all of these plants fully grown so we can have a fully efficient melon farm. So that micro project is now done. All of the melons are planted in there. They're all bone meal and everything is running at full swing. Full whack. We are producing all of the resources. I was originally thinking that these towers weren't going to be tall enough and I was going to have to build them bigger to keep up with the demand on the server. But clearly, there isn't a problem there because we are producing a ton of the resources, which is very nice indeed. But anyway, I'm going to close the door on that project now. Going to completely forget about it because I remember it being very, very frustrating indeed, and move on to the projects that we have planned for today's episode. But before we crack on with those, I want to do my 1 hour of mining. As I promised you at the start of the Hermitcraft series, for the first 10 episodes of Hermitcraft, I am going to be doing mining challenges. Now, I do believe I have skipped one, but we're definitely going to be doing one today because we need to gather up some resources. I think I'm going to try and aim for 5 stacks of diamonds in total by episode 10. That might be very, very ambitious indeed, but as you can see, we have got 2 and a bit stacks, so we're doing pretty well, and I'm going to try and gather up some more. So that was one of those mining sessions where you have to come up and you say, you know what? I can't complain. We did decently, we didn't do amazingly, we didn't do awfully, we sort of middle-roaded it. And if you take a look at my resources here, you can see we got an average amount of pretty much everything. We got 21 diamonds, which is very good. It's quite a lot of diamonds, and we did make a profit because I did have to use 5 diamonds to repair all of my tools. So we got 21, that's always good. We got a half decent amount of lapis, not too much, but it will be useful. Redstone we did a pretty decent job on. We got a bunch of coal there. I wasn't really going for that anymore because we already have so much coal that I really don't have to worry about it anymore. Iron, which is something that I was really concentrating on, we got quite a bit of, and that is good because I'm going to be needing that for something that I want to work on later on in the episode. So yeah, I would say that's a pretty positive mining session. It's not gone too badly, and we managed to gather up all of the resources that we require for today's episode. We're going to add them all to the supply, and speaking of supplies and chests and things like that, I think it's about time that we make use of the storage system that we have on the side of the balloon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather up my gear, we're going to start sorting out the items and making sure that they go in the correct spaces. Oh no, I just realised I cut down the Christmas tree that I said I was going to keep up until Christmas. Oh, it's despawning right in front of my eyes. I feel awful. So I've got a handful of item frames right here, and I'm just going to start chucking these down. Now I don't really have a plan of how I want to sort all of the items. I tell you what, I'll chuck down all the item frames first, and then we'll start working out where we want certain things to go, because we are also going to be having things in these droppers as well as something to look forward to. That's going to be all of the precious items and things. But am I actually going to have enough item frames? It doesn't look like I'm going to. I brought 32 along, and oh, okay, we have just about managed to do it. We used up all of them. So these are all of the item frames that we're going to have. And I think these are going to be all of the important chests. So I'll chuck in cobblestone there. Oh, that's not gone particularly well. We'll put cobblestone in this one right here. And we'll probably need a second double chest for cobblestone. And we'll have a double chest for dirt. That's pretty necessary. And I thought what I would do is I would have a chest for all of the different types of blocks. So we have got granite, andesite, the other one. And then there's probably another one as well that I've completely forgotten. And then we are going to do all of the sand bits over here. So I'll place some sand up in this one. I don't think we're going to need a dedicated double chest for glass. So we'll put that down at the bottom there. We will need... What other sand bits are there? I suppose there is sandstone. I somehow have some of that in my inventory. So we'll place that in there. And the final one, I guess, should be hardened clay. I suppose we should have a hardened clay chest here. Now, I've just realised that this doesn't make very interesting video. I think I'm going to do all of this off camera because it's all fairly boring. But that's sort of what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of minutes. Just trying to work out where all of the items should be going. Guys, considering how long I have been playing Minecraft and how this is sort of my thing, you know, I'm quite well known for being good at Minecraft. I didn't know that you could place torches on fence posts. Why did I not know this? I was thinking, how on earth am I going to light up my lovely bridge that I've got here? And I just decided to try right-clicking. You know, who knows what might happen? Oh, this is a game changer for me. I am trying to think of so many ways in which I can use this. None particularly good have come to mind just yet. But, wow. I can't believe I've missed that. I am so very scared right now. I'm in the nether. I'm standing on a very, very tall pillar trying to get nether quartz so that I can do my sorting system. Ooh. What do you think to the new waterfall that I've installed on the inside of the balloon? Oh yeah, that is looking good. That is the sort of feature that I like to see. Ultra modern type thing. You know, it's going well. But in terms of the sorting system, we are pretty much done. We have one more section to go, and I know exactly what I'm going to be putting in there. That is going to be farming resources. Things like pumpkins, melons. We're going to have chicken, wheat, and sugarcane. That sort of thing is all going to be in this section right here. As I discussed earlier on, we have got the general mining resources there. We have got the sandy resources right there. So that's things like sand, sandstone, glass, and hardened clay. And then round here we have got the wooden resources. That there means like feature blocks, things like fence posts. There'll be wooden doors in there, fence gates, that sort of thing. If you can catch my drift, torches, things that use wood, but they aren't necessarily fully wooden blocks. Things like chests and stuff like that, they'll all be going into this chest right here. Then on this side, we have got the Nether Supplies, Netherrack. We got gravel, which should really be over there, but I ran out of space for it, so I thought I'd chuck it over here. We've also got Nether Quartz and a bit of glowstone down at the bottom. Then this is the redstone section. We've got redstone, iron. The reason that iron's over here is because that's often used for redstone, so I thought I'll chuck it in over here because we'll probably end up with quite a lot of it, especially when Tango builds the iron farm. And then we got redstone blocks, pistons, repeaters, comparators, that sort of thing is all going to go in there. Redstone torches as well. This is all input devices and other odd redstone bits. So things like daylight sensors, weighted pressure plates, which no one ever uses. That is all going to be in that chest. And then down at the bottom, we've got hoppers and droppers. So it all makes sense. This is going to be the farming supplies, and I'll grab all of that, then chuck it all in. Good, everything is in. Now it is time to start transporting up all of the items, and I have just made the sudden realization in my brain that is going to take a lot longer than I had originally budgeted for. So here we go, time to start transporting items and endlessly click on chests. Hooray! Ah, God. After about an hour's hard shifting of items, moving things around, it doesn't help that it is really very tough to get into my base using that slime block launcher. I always seem to catch myself at least on the first attempt, generally speaking on the second attempt, and then sometimes on the third attempt I manage to make it up there. So somehow I need to fix that. I might have to end up using vines. But as you can see inside of all of these chests, we have got all of the items. Now, there are a few things that I sort of regret, and the first one being making this bottom chest here the random items one. This is like the diorite, andesite, granite, and all those sorts of things. That is only a single chest, and already we have only got 8 inventory slots left, so that isn't particularly good. But all of the rest, everything seems to be working fine. You know, we've got all our sandstone in place, that all fits in. We have got our glass, as you can see, not much glass, so that means that we didn't really need that much storage. We've got all our hardened clay, that's filling up very quickly. I'm glad that we did 2 double chests for cobblestone because we have used both of those now. So yeah, it is all going well, the sorting system is done. Now it is time to move on to the next project, and I think you are really going to like it. The plan is very simple indeed. I'm going to be building a fully automatic sugarcane farm because, as you can see, the one that we have on Hermitcraft right now isn't particularly sophisticated. It's your standard walk along, punch out the sugarcane, and that just isn't the Hermitcraft way of doing things. We do things fully automated, using pistons instead of our fists. That's just a little bit medieval. We are in the techno age, and that is why we are building this fully automatic sugarcane farm. And we're going to be doing it underground for 2 reasons. Number 1 is because sugarcane farms aren't particularly good looking, and number 2, so that hopefully no hermits can see it in their videos and I won't get hundreds of comments down in the comment section saying, oh, I've already seen this, so I don't have to watch the video, because they're really quite annoying. And I know I mentioned that right at the beginning of the episode, but they just are frustrating. So I feel like I should build this underground, it'll be out of the hermit's view, and hopefully I won't get any complaints and they won't get any complaints for spoiling any of my projects. It's basically a mutual benefit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack on with clearing out this area. I might end up time-lapsing it. I don't really know. Haven't decided yet. So we'll see. Alright, so my little mining arm has been busy and we have managed to clear out this entire area here, which is pretty big. We've cleared out a fairly large area, but that is because we're going to be fitting in quite a few farms. So as I said earlier, we're going to be using the straight down, bog standard sugarcane farm design, and in theory, if we use my tessellate idea that I have in my head, haven't quite tried it out just yet, we should be able to fit 4 lines of sugarcane, all of which with 15 bits of sugarcane on them, which should mean that we should get around about 60 sugarcane every 10 minutes or so. I don't know how long it takes for sugarcane to grow. Either way, I think we're going to get a decent amount of produce from this farm. As you can see, it takes up a fairly large area, and this is going to be running pretty much all the time because there's always some form of hermit around here loading all of the chunks. So I would say this is going to be a pretty good idea, and it's going to produce quite a lot of stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is get to work on building the first layer, and I'll show you what that's all about, and then we'll see how it goes from there. The first slice of Sugarcane Farm has now been completed, and I know what you're thinking straight off the bat. Oh boy, has Mumbo gone insane. Is this his new building style? Is this the new way that he wants to do things? Now that he's dropped stone bricks, what on earth is he doing? Don't worry guys, this isn't meant to look good, and that is because this is going to be the brute force area. Nobody is going to see this, at least in theory. Nobody's going to see it. Slipgator just popped down here, he saw it, he screamed a little bit. Everyone's thinking the same thing. This place is ugly, and that is why no one should be ending up down here. This is like the dirty, dingy basement of McDonald's. No one wants to see what's down there, because it will probably ruin the meal for you. So instead, what you do is you pick up the sweet sugarcane that this place is going to provide, and you don't think about what's going on down underneath. But anyway, we're having to think about what's going on down underneath, because we are actually building the thing, so I might as well show you how it all works. What we have here is we have got a bunch of pistons, all of which act as a bud switch. You can see that if I place a block there, it will be moved across, and the same thing goes for if sugarcane grows up into that piston, it will be pushed off, and it will hopefully land in this water stream, which will slowly transport it along into this central canal, which will transport it along into some form of hopper, then up into an item elevator, which will then transport all of those items out into a chest that is going to be out the front. And the front building is going to be absolutely lovely. It's going to look amazing. We're going to have a really nice looking place, and no one will have to see any of this horrible cobblestone madness that we have going on. But as far as the bud switches are concerned, I might as well explain this a little bit. What we have is we have got a furnace here that has got an item in it, and then next to that we have got a regular piston facing upwards with a block on top, and that is actually bud powered, so that any of these pistons update. It will update the piston, extending it, meaning that the redstone line that is up at the top will actually turn off, which means that all of the pistons will retract, and then they will go back into their budded state, because that piston there will retract, repowering the whole system. I know that didn't really make much sense, but it definitely works, and I feel like I've done a tutorial on this at some point in the past, so if you do want to check it out, there'll be a link to that down in the description. Just another quick progress update to say that layer number 2 is now done, and somehow this build is getting even more ugly. But I thought I'd just quickly show you how I am tessellating these two things together. So as you can see, that is the bud line right there, and these are all of the budded out pistons, and then we have that sort of interlapping between the water stream and all of the sugarcane here. So it does work quite nicely together, because you can basically slant them and slot them in next to one another to create a fairly compact and relatively high density sugarcane farm. I don't actually have enough pistons with me. It's going to be just over 64 pistons. I think it's going to be about 68, maybe around about there. But yeah, we're going to have loads and loads of sugarcane in here, and it's going to be a fairly efficient farm, and I think it is going to produce quite a lot of the stuff, which should be nice. One thing that I am sort of thinking about though is where the sugarcane is going to go, because if we put it off in this direction, you will see that we have Tango's little cow breeder very, very close to this. So I think we're going to have to go the other way, then loop it back around and bring it out to the front. Oh, the complications. Everything in terms of the redstone is now complete. Look, if we take a look at it from across here, you can see all of the redstone lines going across. Although this is a very, very simple build indeed, only uses a few bits of redstone, it is always cool seeing a huge room like this completely filled up with a redstone contraption. That will never get boring for me. I just love doing things like that. It's been a fairly big project, but now we have done all of the redstone. We just have to fill it all in with sugarcane, and it will be good to go. Now, before I end this episode, I want to address one comment that I am 100% certain I am going to be getting, and that is the fact that I am placing all of this sugarcane on dirt. Can you believe it? Yeah, I am using dirt. A lot of you still believe the sugarcane grows faster on sand, and that simply is not the case. It has been proven so many times that the game does not actually check for sand underneath sugarcane. It just grows it regardless. It uses the same random tick speed as the other one does. But I always get comments like it on any sugarcane farm video, on any Hermitcraft video in which I place sugarcane, and it gets a little bit boring. So yes, I am using dirt, and that is because it is exactly the same as sand, and I had a lot more dirt than sand on me, so that is why I'm using it. And it's not like looks matter, because if looks do matter, sand always looks better than dirt. But because we're in the back room, in the ugly area filled with cobblestone and industrial redstone contraptions, I'm not worrying about the style of this thing. But anyway, I'm going to keep placing in all of the sugarcane. We are almost full up now, and then I'll catch you guys in a little bit. So there we go. It was an ambitious project, but we managed to get it done. The entire sugarcane farm is completed, and finished. We don't have the collection system, and we don't have the transport system, but the actual farm itself is all done and dusted. All of that stuff is going to have to wait until the next episode, which I'm sure you are very, very excited for indeed. And speaking of the next episode, I've got a few things I want to mention. First off, I have recorded the last part of this video, the past couple of cuts, in 60 frames a second. Now, I highly doubt I'm going to be rendering this video in 60 frames a second, but what I can say is that the next Hermitcraft episode will be fully released in 60 frames a second for all of your viewing enjoyment, and all of the videos from that point forth should be in 60 frames a second for all of you, because I asked you guys on Twitter, would you like to see it? And I think we ended up getting around about 400 favourites on the tweet, so I suppose it has sort of forced the hand a little bit, because I can't argue with that number of people. So there we go, 60 frames a second is now a thing, and it will be coming to the Mumbo Jumbo channel. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.